Hey, it's February 8th and welcome back to Unirunner Video Drum Lessons. My name's Darren Mathis. This week we're going to be talking about splitting up sextuplets. Sextuplets meaning a group of 6 of anything. In this case we're going to talk about 2 groups of triplets, or this figure if you look on the screen right now. This subject kind of relates to an email that I got from Jay Hubner here. Actually lives in Sioux Falls here locally. He says, I'm 43 and I play drums for a band here in Sioux Falls called Land Shark. Check out our new website at landsharkrock.com. Anyway, he says he's been playing around Sioux Falls here for about 25 years and he used to be in a band called Radio X. He said he played quite a bit in Sioux Falls for about 10 years or so. And he was talking about some comments on about the podcast, and he says he's always considered himself a non-technical drummer. He's never really worked very hard on rudiments, but he says, I've always played from deep in my heart. I think that is just important as learning rudiments, etc. He says that playing from deep in the heart is just as important as working on or learning rudiments. However, he says, since I haven't worked on those technical aspects of drumming, I think it might be time to begin. I've worked on different rolls and paradiddles, but I get bored with it very quickly. Do you have any tips on how to keep that repetition exciting and productive? I don't know if I have any tips on how to keep the repetition exciting and productive, but I can use an example of just a lick I learned this week when I went to our church's Wild Game Feed. Here you can see me playing with the band here on guitar at the Wild Game Feed last Friday. Yes, the Wild Game Feed, that's a kind of a tradition at our church. I mean, that's South Dakota entertainment at its best, really. You've got a bunch of guys getting together and cooking up, various things that they've collected from this hunting season and preparing it for us all. And we usually get together and play a little music for that too. And group of my friends there, actually can show you this song no problem because I wrote it. It's a little blues gospel tune called Lord of Glory. And so I got my friend Kevin back there on the drums. You notice he's playing a nice shuffle beat. We talked about shuffles last week. But at this gig I happened to have my camera because I wanted to record the band and hear what it sounded like. My friend Jason, who's playing bass, his friend, who was also is named Jason, was there, and he's a good drummer that has a background in music education from going to school here in South Dakota. He showed me this lick that I thought was pretty cool, so I want to show you a clip from that.
It's just based on 6 with 7 being back, the downbeat being back on the snare. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Also, it adds a neat flow to it because sonically with our ear, we're always thinking of going down the kit or up. So it really adds a lot of flair and flavor if the tonal pattern is changing.
Yeah.
And then you can use that as an ender of it too. You could do, one. So rather than 6 here, 6 here, 6 here, then you can break it up. So 1. And I'm just putting 2 on each one.
So Jason, thanks a lot for showing me that lick. That's pretty cool. So what he was doing was taking a group of 6, and if you look again on the screen, you'll see a group of 6, as you commonly might see it in music, as 2 groups of 3, 2 triplets. Triplet, triplet. But if you think about taking those groups of 3 and instead of playing 3 notes on each drum, play 2 notes as Jason did on each drum, you can split it up in new ways. And the lick he was showing me there, which I've practiced, and this goes back to Jay's question of repetition, doing things like this are kind of fun for me because I just like to see how fast my muscle memory can start to remember these licks, and then if you do them often enough, you might find them being incorporated into your drumming, and things like that. Or you can sit in front of the TV. A lot of times I recommend, if you have a practice pad, just sit in front of the TV doing paradiddles, paradiddle, 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 just over and over. But I started to learn this lick that Jason was showing at the church there on the sanctuary drums. So he's playing a triplet, or 2 sets of triplets, 6 notes, a sextuplet. He's playing the first 2, or 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and then 2 on the kick drum. So instead of playing 3 on each drum, he's playing it with the triplet feel still, but he's breaking it up and putting 2 here, so triplet, triplet. So instead of triplet, triplet, where 3 notes would be on each drum, he's splitting it up, and that's how you kind of get that cool sound. So here's kind of what he was doing again. So that's a nice exercise if you want to get that rolling triplet sound. Triplet, 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 triplet. Or it gives it an interesting flavor because, like he said, you're playing the same figure you might have played, like this, but splitting it up on different drums. So you can do all kinds of things, and he was also showing how you could take a triplet or a sextuplet and do 2 on each drum. So it gives your same old figures that you might have been playing for years, like me, and just gives you new ideas where to play them and split them up to give them a different sound and feel. So Jay, thanks for your email. And Jay also mentions that his band Landshark is playing this Saturday, February 10th, at the Brandon Bowling Alley. Now, Brandon is right here next to Sioux Falls, so if you're in the area, be sure to check it out. I want to go too. I told them that I had plans on going to this BX3 concert this Sunday at a place called the Lava Lounge. It's this bass players tour that's got Billy Sheenan and Stu Ham and Jeff Berlin. They're playing with this drummer. I think his name's John Mader. But you can check that out too if you're in the Sioux Falls area. Otherwise, if you look up BX3 Tour on the internet, you'll learn a little bit more about that and see if they're playing in your area. So I'm pretty excited about that. And thanks again, Jay, for sending your email. And be sure to check out Landshark Rock if you get a chance. I have another email here from Luke James. He says he just stumbled across unirunner.com, and he's talking about being a self-taught drummer and had no idea what rudiments were until late last year. He says he's been just listening to his favorite bands and copying the drums, and then eventually trying to make his own beats. So I think I showed him the link to, he was asking about rudiments, so I might have sent him the link to, what is it, the Percussive Arts Society, PAS.org, has a list of all the drum rudiments there if you want to check that out. He said he sent me a video of him drumming, so I'll show you that on the way out here today, but I just want to thank you again for tuning in. And as we close, I'll show you that video that Jay sent. It's pretty cool. He's got these monster drums and some pretty cool licks, I think. So enjoy that. But to everyone, thanks again for tuning in. Until next week, take care, keep practicing, and God bless.